Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com. All right, we are back with Mornings with Lone Star here on Lone Star Community Radio, irlonestar.com, worldwide, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. We're continuing the celebration of the upcoming Conroe Crossroads, the second annual music festival happening here in downtown Conroe across, I believe it's like 42 shows, 11 venues, and then all here within walking distance. So we're going to be talking about that. So if you want to get tickets, and if you like the artists we're talking to right now, I'm going to put links to where their website is, especially getting tickets to go see their show, where they're playing, and all that kind of stuff. So on a Zoom call with me, because this is a typical musician, always traveling, right? We got Lonnie Trevino with the South Austin Moonlighters with me. And Lonnie, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. This is a pleasure.
Yeah, it's Zoom is an incredible deal, especially for artists, because now you don't really have to wake up at 6 a.m. to be on the radio.
Well, in times before, you still had to get on the phone
Oh, yeah. And actually,
and call radio.
and at least you can have your cup of coffee while you're just kind of like waking up. But I'm glad we got you on Zoom and we can talk about where are you right now? Do you mind telling me?
I don't mind at all. I'm actually in my home.
Oh.
I live in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, wonderful.
I have lived here for the past 4.5 years. Moved here from Austin, Texas, and just Austin was growing so fast, and I kind of saw the writing on the wall, and wanted to move somewhere, kind of quiet, but still have a city vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always loved all things New Orleanian, so my wife and I bought a house here, and yeah, here I am, and I fly out today to meet up with the guys in the band in Austin. And we have a show in Fort Worth tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Well, speaking of shows, let's let people know that you guys are going to be performing at 202 Main on, I believe, Friday, April 14th, around 9 to 10 o'clock. So you're going to be right after Southern Disposition. So if people want to go to ConroeCrossroads.com, get your tickets there. I believe the way the tickets are working is it starts around $40+ for all weekend, which is a great price to see up to 40 plus bands. So, but 202 Main is a great venue. I wonder where they're going to put you. There's 2 stages there. They have an outdoor stage and then they have an indoor stage. So it's going to be interesting to see where they're going to put the South Austin Moonlighters. But you guys are going to be performing. You're the last act there, so I would encourage people to get there at 9 because they have great drinks and food. And especially with the craziness of the festival going on, you want to get there a little early so you can get a seat and all that kind of stuff. I've been listening. We've been playing some of your music. And one thing I got to say, have you guys been around for a while, in a sense?
12 years.
Yeah, because you guys sound tight. And
thank you very much.
I really like I like the vibe of your music. I will say it's not Crosby, Stills, Nash Young kind of. I mean, I don't really know how to.
Yeah, that's we get compared to that quite often.
Yeah, I grew up with that, and then I was like, it's funny that for me, growing up with my parents, listening to their music, and never really transitioning to, I would say, like today's time music. And when you hear new bands sound like the music you like, is exciting because no one really advertises like, oh yeah, we're a little different. We're not the top 40 countdown kind of music today. And I love that about y'all because it's like this what gets me excited about going to see somebody instead of like, like my wife would be like, let's go see Taylor Swift. I'm like, why would I? That sounds so boring. But now I'm excited to see the South Austin Moonlighters because it's my kind of music.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we wear our influences on our sleeves, not purposely or even. It's all just because it's in our DNA, and we often have people come up to us and tell us who we sound like, or even what we look like, and but yeah, we our music is familiar enough to draw you in, and it's new enough for you to stay and listen.
Well, especially with festivals, there's so many options for people. And
Mhm.
I always wonder about from the artist perspective, that's kind of like, how do we stand out from all these bands that are
Mhm.
here to get, and I'm talking about new listeners, a new audience.
Sure.
And I love it, like, because in downtown Conroe, all the venues are relatively close. So you're going to be able to literally leave and get to another show within like 2 minutes, a minute.
Oh, yeah, that's great. And
And
by the way, we've played all over that area of Texas,
yeah,
all around, and somehow we've circumvented Conroe, and we've never been able to get into Conroe. So we're really excited to play this festival. It is a place where people have told us many times, you guys need to come to Conroe, and we've tried, and being trying to get to new markets and not being known in that market,
hmm
though we're known everywhere else, is kind of difficult. And I understand, it's a money making opportunity for the venue, for the promoter, for the band itself. So you want to do it right. So we're really excited to do this and to gain some new Conroe fans.
and especially for people who've never been to 202, 202 is really accessible. There's like an outdoor gate you can get in. There's a front door you can get in. I think there's even a back door, kind of because
Hello.
yeah, because they have like, it's interesting because I love what they got there because they basically have what I call like a bar. It's really big, and then there's an
Oh my.
outdoor patio
Mm,
that's really big, and
it
then
sounds lovely
they have a mini bar that's behind the patio. So it's like,
for the many people like
yeah,
me.
yes, for for the people who don't want to deal with the crowd, it's like, oh, there's a little bar back here.
Hmm.
But so when people are gonna be walking by, they're gonna be hearing you guys no matter what because there's like, it's on the corner, so it's like,
All
oh, what's
right.
going on over there?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's gonna be kind of cool when I saw that you're gonna be playing there because it's a neat venue. And Keith over there is really good about catering to everybody there, families and people, and then he understands if it's adult time, it's adult time. If it's family time, it's family time.
All right.
So let's go on that because one thing I want to tell people really about this interview is tell the audience what kind of show you put on.
It's a full upright electric, uh, full throttle, you know, rock show
Hmm
slash country blues.
Yeah, because you guys, if I'm understanding correctly, you have 4 member band,
Yes.
and everyone's going to be there,
Mm-hmm.
so it's going to be a full show.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
that's exciting for me because some of the venues that are in the Crossroads, it's more of an intimate setting,
Sure.
and you really can put off the wrong vibe really quickly depending on
Mm-hmm.
your kind of music. And it's like, oh, we should have just brought one person. We should not have brought the whole band
Mm-hmm.
here because these people are trying to eat their food. And
Well, we actually have a really uh good uh understanding, a radar for that, and so we can do an acoustic show with, just even just with a box and some brushes for the drummer and the guitar players on acoustic, and we still have that Crosby, Stills, Nash Young
mhm.
vibe, where the harmonies really, really get to shine. And we've done that quite a bit. As a matter of fact, we're doing that in May at the Bugle Boy in Lagrange. So we're able to do that too, and I think it surprises a lot of people. And that's also just yet another gear that we have,
Well,
in the motor.
what I love about that mentality, especially with musicians, is you really get to see the talent on stage. Because a lot of times when people, and this is back in the day when CDs were really big or albums were really, really big, you get an
Hmm.
album and it's perfected. Hours and hours put
Sure.
into this perfection. And then you go see them live
Hmm.
and you're like, this sucks. Like, this is not anything like the album.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I kind of love today's standard people put on bands because now
Hmm.
it's more about the show
Yeah.
instead of the album. Because,
Yeah. I agree and disagree.
oh,
I think, well, just because a live show is gone in an hour to 90 minutes, and it's gone forever unless you captured it on video or audio. I mean, that performance is gone. Whereas a record lasts forever, and that is going to be for most people the thing that they return to the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah, I
Uh,
guess I guess the way I should have put it is it's more of the growing you have with an artist.
yeah, sure.
So it's like, you might have, to me, I always appreciate artists more after I see them live. And I'm like, whoa, they really care about this. So I'm going to go back and listen to that record because I
Yeah,
heard him sing this song, or heard she sang this song a certain way. And I'm like, I'm going to go back and check that out.
absolutely. That's the whole point of a live performance. I mean, years ago, before we had streaming and we had, accessibility in the palm of our hands, you would go to a show, and the next morning you would go to, for my case in Houston, Texas, it was Cactus Records and Tapes, and you would go buy that artist's album, and listen to the album and listen to it, over and over again because you remembered that show. So absolutely. But now, um, you know, uh, I guess it can be good, but it's different for folks, that are 40 and older.
Hmm.
Um, that music has been compartmentalized so much that the art of the album itself is gone, or I shouldn't say gone. It's just not as uh, in the forefront
Hmm.
as it was in the past. And we really believe in a having a record, which is the two meanings of that. A record, there's a round disc, but also a record of that time in our lives, that performances of that time, the songs that were written at that time, having a record for an album that shows just kind of where we were at that time. I think it's important. I think that more people should listen to records front to back as it was intended, because there's a story that's happening. There's a theme within each little groove on the vinyl.
Yeah, I mean, but I think with today though, the trouble, especially the younger generations, is they didn't know, because back in the day that was expected from artists. It's like when they release a record, they've been working on it. It's almost like a chapter in their book. But
Hmm.
in today's world, you really can't keep track of that because things happen so fast. And singles, especially with media, where like, oh, I really like that Lizzo song, but because I liked it because it was in a movie. So you
Right,
have no connection to Lizzo's album. You didn't even know it was
right.
on an album. It was just like, oh, I liked it in the movie, and now I'm going to
Hmm.
add it to my playlist. And you don't really
Correct.
see when it actually came out or got evolved or what her actual message was. But no, you're right. It's like it's almost like you have to retrain listeners to really see what's going on with a band.
Yeah, attention spans are shorter and shorter and shorter. So I understand that, and there's to a certain point we're playing the game.
Hmm.
Uh, However, as an artist, I hope that people would my I would like to think that people would want to appreciate art for what it is as a complete, piece.
Hmm.
You wouldn't look at just the eyes of the Mona Lisa or just the penis of the David,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
and that's what's so neat about the Conroe Crossroads, especially here in Conroe. People who, what I like about festivals like this is you get to have a whole new experience with people you would never really encounter. And I think if you go in with that mindset, you're really gonna be opened up to a lot of great music, opposed
I hope
to,
so.
you know,
Yeah.
because it's so strange to me in today's world where you ask the average person like, hey, where did you hear that song? And it's like, oh, it's on like a mixed playlist on Spotify. And then they discover that new artist, and then it becomes like a whole new experience for them for the next 2 or 3 years. It's like they just start
Hmm.
gradually listening to this artist, and you're like, oh man, they got a new album, awesome. And then,
Exactly.
yeah, and I really encourage people to come out to the Conroe Crossroads and try out different bands. And you guys, again, I want to remind them you're going to play at 202 on, I believe it was that Saturday at 10
That's
o'clock.
Friday, the
Friday. Man, I
14th.
got real bad. That's real bad. Let me repeat that. That's Friday, April 14th, around 9:30, 10 o'clock at the 202 Main. And, how long are your shows usually? Like, I would say like 2 hours, an hour,
90 minutes.
90 minutes. Okay.
90 minutes. I think that's just, it's almost getting too long now. 60 minutes is usually not enough. People want more. And then another 30 minutes of music. You start feeling the audience wanting like okay, we're ready to get
Yeah.
home. We probably had too much to drink or don't want to drink too much, and it's time to head on home. But
Yeah.
I think 90 minutes is our we have a really really solid 90-minute show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to tell folks is you have your own music.
Yeah,
That's
we have it's about 90% original music. We have put cover songs
mhm.
on our records before. As a matter of fact, our last record, Travel Light, that was produced by Anders Osborne. We have two covers on that, and we were only going to put one, but our label insisted that we put another one on there, which is called Machine Gun Kelly, made
Yeah,
famous by
James
James
Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Uh,
talking about.
yeah, and that song went to number 11 on the alternative country charts in 2019. So sometimes the label's right.
Well, man, it's good because I talked to another artist about this where
Mhm.
you discover with covers you can rediscover the beauty of the song, but then you almost like the cover version better than the original version.
Sure, that's happened before. I mean, Jimi Hendrix version of All Along the
Yeah.
Watchtower is superior to the Dylan version.
Yeah, and like the best example I could give, if, Eva Cassidy became really popular in the blues, but majority of her stuff is covers. Like most of her stuff is covers.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Elvis was a cover artist. He didn't write one single song,
Yeah,
and every one of his albums was cover music. But nobody said, oh, I really love that cover record by Elvis.
yeah, I
He was an artist.
yeah, I
So
I dig
there's
it.
nothing wrong with that at all. If you would do a whole record of covers, I mean, you're still the artist. I mean, you're still interpreting, you're still putting your stamp on it, whether it's good or bad. I mean, that's entirely up to the listening audience.
And so let's tell them because you guys are playing. You guys got 90 minutes set, 4 piece
Hmm.
band. I
Hmm.
mean harmony. I mean I don't really know how to describe your music because it's uh,
We often get compared to Los Lobos,
okay.
the Eagles, Little Feat, Crosby, Stills, Nash
Yeah,
and Young, Tom Petty. Sometimes, it's just all the things that we grew up with. All of the things. And sometimes you're going to hear even, you're going to hear some Dylan, you're going to hear some Beatles, you're going to hear a lot of things. But it's always going to sound like the South Austin Moonlighters.
yeah, I like that because one thing you could tell is all of y'all are talented.
Well, thank you. Thank you
So,
very
because
much.
I think that even in that word harmony, that's really important for the band to all be good at what they're
Hmm.
doing. Because
Hmm.
once you have that one, that loose chain on the link, it's like, oh, you're not really making it sound good. But
Mm.
not you guys. I like it.
Well,
You,
thank you.
you got a new album coming out.
That's right.
Is it coming out April or is it no
No,
May?
it's coming out in June.
June, way off. Okay, again, I'm way off.
June 16th.
Okay,
The name of the record is From Here to Home, produced by Steve Berlin of Los Lobos.
okay,
And it was a long time coming. We started it March of 20, and of course we all know what happened then. So it's been a labor of love, and it's finally coming out uh, this year, June 16th, nationally. And we're working on a distribution deal right now for Europe as well. So we're really excited, and it's the goal for an artist is to always be proudest of your newest art, your newest album, single, whatever it may be. And I have to say, we are truly, truly pleased with this record, and really hope that we get to work with Steve Berlin again. He's such a busy guy. But and he just won a Grammy for the last uh, Los Lobos record.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's a fantastic producer. He's a fantastic friend. He's just an all-around music lover. And he sacrificed and put forth, blood, sweat, and tears into this record just as much as we did, and we're so proud to have worked with him. And we can't wait for everyone to hear it.
And are we going to hear any of those new tunes, sneak peeks at Conroe
Sure.
Crossroads? Oh, I like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're definitely playing them. It's funny. A lot of these songs we had never played before. I would say about 75%, maybe 80%, we had never played before live. So they were put together, arranged, you know, changed the keys, changed the meter, the tempo, all the things that a producer will insist on. And so we had to learn how to play and sing these songs after the record was done. We had to like have really intense rehearsals to figure out how to play these songs live. And uh it was a challenge, but we have persevered, and it sounds fantastic.
I'm really looking forward to the show. For those who are just now listening, I'm talking to Lonnie Trevino from the South Austin Moonlighters. He's going to be performing on Friday at 2:02 for the Conroe Crossroads. Get your tickets today. One ticket purchase equals a whole 4 days. So it's a great deal. All happening in downtown Conroe. And I encourage everybody to check him out. If you want to listen to his music right now, I put links in the description for all the stuff for the South Austin Moonlighters. Check them out today, and we're going to continue playing some of y'all's music following this for up to the end of the hour because we're highlighting the South Austin Moonlighters right now. So, Lonnie, thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday around 9, 10, 11, like around the closing act at 2:02. That's the way I'm going to describe it.
Yeah, I hope that everyone will come. I'd also like to say that the South Austin Moonlighters are myself, Chris Beal, who is also a fantastic songwriter, singer. And he's my favorite songwriter. I'm a little biased. Also, Daniel James on the drums, who sings amazing high harmonies and is really, really a joy to be around. And he's a fantastic drummer. And last but not least, Hunter St. Marie on the guitar. And he is a beast on the guitar. Everyone ends up really loving him and his solos. So I encourage everyone to come out to see the live show, because it is like I said before, a full throttle, upright and electric, in your face country rock show.
That's awesome. Well, Lonnie, we're going to be kicking off more music from you guys, so stick around. You're listening to Maureen's Lone Star here on irlonestar.com, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. We'll be back after a couple tracks from the South Austin Moonlighters.
Peace, y'all.